so what I wanted to do is I wanted to develop a online student-directed holistic assessment tool that would help teachers save time in identifying and effectively supporting the diverse needs of all students in inclusive classroom settings and develop motivated, self-regulated learners. So I did this with a design-based research methodology, or DBR for short. And so this design-based research is really links theory to practice. And there are many different ways of doing design-based research. So I adapted mine from McKinney and Reeves, who has a three-phase approach. And the first phase starts with understanding the theory and how we can develop a solution to solve the problem. And then in the second phase, that's really the testing of the solution through different iterative cycles of testing. And then in the third phase, it's all about designing reflection and designing principles that can be transferable and used. And so I'm going to take you through each of these phases. And the first phase, we've just identified the problem. And so the next phase is the literature review. So the first theme that I came across is how motivation is impacted by strength-based assessments. So first of all, Climbing and Henley had reported that most traditional psychological assessments really are deficit-based, and they don't have a lot of focus on strengths. However, Brownlee's study found that when students have the opportunity to co-create their own strength-based learning profiles or learning plans, they increase their awareness of their learning skills and abilities. And then also, Kate and Basham also found that when students are involved in the assessment process, they have a deeper understanding of their strengths and needs. Gross's study on personalized learning environments found that many teachers were receptive to including interests in the curriculum. However, fewer teachers were receptive to providing meaningful choice, especially at the high school level. And then some of these mixed views could be related to the misconceptions of self-directed learning and self-regulated learning. So self-regulated learning, for instance, is really the application of cognitive skills to academic tasks. And these skills really require explicit instruction by the teacher. But a lot of teachers have reported that they may not have the training to teach these skills. And so, but research has said that in order to become a self-directed learner, you first need to be a self-regulated learner. And that's what we're looking at today. And so finally, the other research is Nelson and Laurie and Basham said that Universal Design for Learning, or UDL for short, is one way of meeting the needs of diverse students. And this is done by providing students with multiple ways of receiving the information they get, multiple ways of engaging in the content, and multiple ways of demonstrating their understanding. And it can also sustain a student autonomy when students are involved in the assessment process and the goal setting process. But they also said it would be even more effective if teachers were provided with support in the implementation of UDL strategies.